تعجل بالقرآن من قبل أن يقضى إليك وحيه وقل رب زدني علما.
And that's why it is so important for every believer to strive for the afterlife, to strive and to make sure that all of your deeds are being done sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being done for the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that you abandon all of the evils and the shortcomings and seek refuge in Allah from them, from the whisperings of the shaitan, because even the tiniest of things that a person does, even the tiniest of statements or actions that you engage in, they are recorded. And nothing is hidden or secret from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا يخفى عليه شيء. Nothing is hidden or concealed from Allah. What a person does, what a person says, what a person writes, what a person, anything, hidden or open, concealed or not, everything is known to Allah. All of that is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why it says in the hadith, وَإِنَّ الْعَبْدَ لَيَتَكَلَّمُ بِكَلِمَةٍ مِنْ سَخَطِ اللَّهِ لَا يُلْقِي لَهَا بَالًا يَهْوِي بِهَا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ. That maybe a servant, he says something, a single word, tiniest statement, but it is something evil from that which displeases Allah. And that one tiny word or statement, that could be the reason why a person is thrown into the hellfire. One statement of evil or one action of evil, one statement of lying, or one statement of backbiting, one statement of storytelling, one statement of evil could be the reason you are cast into the hellfire. That could be the reason, that could be the deed that tips over the weighing scale for an individual, and you are cast into the fire for it. So be careful and preserve and guard yourselves from the evil of statements and actions. And a person needs to be aware of that constantly and regularly and always. As Shaykh Al-Fawzan says, all of the things that you do, all of your actions and statements, put them in front of your eyes and think, is this a correct statement for me to make? Is this a correct action for me to do? Is this a correct behavior to engage in? Stop and think. Put everything in front of yourself and consider. Do not hastily fall into actions and statements and deeds that you regret afterwards, because all of those are written and recorded by the angels. And on Yawm al-Qiyamah, the madhalim, the dhulm that occurs between people, then that will be done with iqtisas. The qisas will be done, that on that day the one who you oppressed, he will have the right to take the rights back from you. And that's why in the hadith the Prophet ﷺ said, أَتَدْرُونَ مَنِ الْمُفْلِسِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Do you know who the bankrupt one is on the day of judgment? They said, مَنْ لَا دِرْهَمَ وَلَا دِينَارَ لَهُ. Maybe somebody who doesn't have any gold or silver. But the messenger said, لا ليس كما تظنون. It is not as what you think. أو كما قال. He then explained to them that the muflis, the bankrupt one on the day of judgment, is a person who used to actually do worship. He used to do worship. He was upon ibadah, praying and fasting and zakat and hajj. But at the same time, اغتاب هذا وشتم هذا وضرب هذا وأخذ مال هذا. Despite doing worship, at the same time his character was such that he used to backbite this one and abuse that one and speak ill of this one and steal from this one and beat up that one physically. He used to do all of those kinds of things. So on the day of judgment, all of those people who he wronged and oppressed, they will come and they will start taking their deeds one by one from that person's good deeds, because he had good deeds. He used to do worship. He had some good deeds. They will come and start taking those deeds until all of his good deeds run out. But there are still people waiting to get their rights back. So now how are they going to get their rights back when all of his good deeds have run out already, taken by everybody else? They will then take out some of their bad deeds, their own bad deeds. They'll be able to take some out and throw them onto him. So they reduce their own bad deeds and they throw some of them onto him. That is the judgment that will be made between the people on Yawm al-Qiyamah, between the one who wronged another and never returned his right and never sought forgiveness from him. So it is very important that a person nullifies or rectifies and wipes out any of these types of madhalim, any of these types of wrongs or misdeeds that have occurred between one to another, to be on that day with a clean slate. Many of the Salaf, they used to say, I make dua and I hope that I, on the day of judgment, do not end up having oppressed anyone, so that nobody comes to me on the day of judgment wanting to take any of my good deeds. Imagine, they will come and take your good deeds and then they'll throw their bad deeds on you too on top at the end. So a person must be very careful and must be aware of these affairs and rectify his own affairs